Ancient Promises. Mari McCabe settled into the plush cushions of Dr. Mist's study, surrounded by floating books and softly glowing crystals. She'd expected their evening together to be like any other, intimate conversation, maybe some mystical tea, but Nomo seemed unusually focused tonight, pacing before the great windows that looked out onto swirling dimensional auroras. "Mari," he began formally, then stopped, running a hand through his hair in a gesture that was endearingly human. "I have been thinking about your presentation from last week. My boyfriend application pitch?" Mari grinned, tucking her legs under herself. "What about it? It occurs to me that I may have accepted your proposal without properly demonstrating my own qualifications for the position." He turned to face her, and she was struck by how seriously he was taking this. "Therefore, I would like to present my own case." Mari's heart fluttered. "Oh, this should be good." Nomo straightened, and suddenly she could see the ancient king he truly was. "First and most importantly, I have literally all the time in the world to devote to you. 50,000 years have taught me the value of patience, which means I will never rush you, never pressure you, and always be willing to listen when you need to talk." "That's actually really sweet," Mari said softly. "Furthermore," he continued, beginning to pace again, "my experience grants me certain advantages. I have witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations, which means I can provide historical context for literally any situation. Arguing with someone? I can tell you exactly how similar conflicts were resolved in ancient Mesopotamia. Planning a vacation? I know hidden temples and secret places that no travel guide has ever discovered." Mari laughed. "Are you seriously selling me on your boyfriend potential with history lessons?" "I am being thorough," Nomo replied with dignity, though his eyes twinkled. "Additionally, my magical abilities offer considerable practical benefits. Bad weather ruining our date? I can part storm clouds. Dinner reservations fell through. I can conjure a private dining experience that would make 5-star restaurants weep with envy. Someone bothering you? I can make them forget they ever existed." "Okay, that last one is actually pretty appealing," Mari admitted. Nomo smiled, warming to his theme. "I am also financially stable. 50 millennia of accumulated wisdom tends to result in considerable resources. I own properties in 17 dimensions, have investments in magical markets that have been appreciating for centuries, and possess artifacts worth more than most small countries' GDP. Are you trying to impress me with your portfolio?" Mari teased. "Perhaps." He moved closer to her chair. "But more importantly, I can offer you adventures beyond your wildest imagination. Want to see the birth of stars? I can take you there. Curious about the lost libraries of Atlantis? I have the keys. Feeling restless? We can explore pocket dimensions where time moves differently, experiencing lifetimes of adventure in a single afternoon." Mari's breath caught. The scope of what he was offering was staggering. "I am also," Nomo continued, his voice dropping lower, "extremely protective of those I care about. Not possessive. I respect your independence and your strength, but protective. Anyone who threatens you would face the wrath of someone who has toppled empires and rewritten the laws of physics when sufficiently motivated. That's both terrifying and incredibly romantic," Mari whispered. "I hoped you would see it that way." He knelt beside her chair, taking her hands in his. "I can also promise you that you will never be bored. In 50,000 years, I have accumulated stories, knowledge, and experiences that I have never shared with anyone. I could spend decades telling you tales of wonder, teaching you secrets of the universe, showing you magics that exist nowhere else." Mari's eyes were wide. "Nomo, I am patient enough to let you maintain your independence in your career, wise enough to be a true partner rather than simply a boyfriend, and powerful enough to ensure that our relationship exists entirely outside normal constraints." His thumbs traced over her knuckles. Time, distance, danger. None of these things can touch us. But here's what matters most, he said, his voice becoming tender. I have spent 50 millennia learning how to love properly. I know the difference between passion and devotion, between infatuation and true partnership. I understand that love is not possession, but celebration. Not limiting someone, but helping them become their fullest self. Mari felt tears prick her eyes. I can promise you that I will never take you for granted, because I have lived long enough to know how rare and precious true connection is. I will never be careless with your heart, because I understand its value. And I will never stop working to deserve your love, because I have learned that the greatest treasures require constant care. He lifted one of her hands to his lips, pressing a gentle kiss to her palm. I can also promise you something no other man could, that I will love you not just for who you are now, but for who you will become across all the years of your long life. The Tantu totem has granted you extended life, Mari, and I can be your companion through all of it. Forever, she breathed. If you'll have me. His smile was radiant. I can offer you a love story that spans millennia, adventures that cross dimensions, and a partnership that grows stronger with each passing century. Most men can promise you a lifetime. I can promise you several. Mari launched herself from the chair into his arms, and he caught her easily, spinning her around as she laughed through her tears. Is that a yes? He asked when he set her down. That's definitely a yes, she said, pulling his face down to hers. Though I have to say, your pitch was way more impressive than mine. 50,000 years of practice, he murmured against her lips. Show off, she whispered back, and kissed him under the light of 1,000 magical stars.